Assalamu alaikum. 6 p.m. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Sumaira Kamal. The headlines first. Federal Cabinet has decided to constitute a special committee to submit its recommendations on the verdict of World Bank's arbitration court on Reko Dik case. President says Pakistan considers the GSP Plus scheme of the European Union as a constructive engagement for the betterment of the economy. Foreign Minister says the Prime Minister will highlight his vision for peace and prosperity in South Asia during upcoming visit to United States. India's leading newspaper Times of India says Pakistan has moved to the center stage of the Afghan peace process, while India has been dealt out of the future of Afghanistan. International Court of Justice will announce its verdict in Kulbhushan Yadav case tomorrow. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister's Special Assistant on Information and Broadcasting Firdaus Ashiq-e-Wan says a committee has been constituted to submit its recommendations to the Cabinet on a verdict of World Bank's arbitration court on Reko Dik case. Briefing media about cabinet meeting along with the Federal Minister for Communications, Murad Saeed, and advisor to Prime Minister on climate change, Malik Amin Aslam, in Islamabad today, she said the committee will submit its recommendations, point out those responsible, and devise future strategy in this regard. She said that the committee headed by the Law Minister Farogh Naseem will include Hamad Azhar, Dr. Ishrat Hussain, Prime Minister's Special Assistant on Accountability, Shehzad Akbar, and Syed Qasim. She said that it has been decided that Minister for Communications Murad Saeed will brief every cabinet meeting about the foreign tours of the Sharif family and expenditures incurred by them illegally. President Dr. Arif Alvi says Pakistan considers the GSP Plus scheme as a constructive engagement for the betterment of economy and promoting country's economic agenda. Talking to outgoing EU Ambassador Jean-Francois Caution in Islamabad today, he said that the current volume of trade between Pakistan and European Union is not commensurate to its true potential and needs further boost. The President appreciated the EU's assistance for development projects in rural development, natural resources management, education, and human resources development. The ambassador lauded the sacrifices by the people of Pakistan in curbing the menace of terrorism. National Assembly began its session at the Parliament House in Islamabad today with Speaker Asad Qaisar in the chair. Taking floor in the Assembly, Minister of State for Parliamentary Affairs Ali Muhammad Khan said we should be loyal to our country rather than political leaders. He said production orders of any member of Assembly can be issued for allowing them to raise the issues of their constituency, not forwarding their personal issues at the floor of the House. Former Prime Minister Raja Parvez Ashraf said common man is facing the brunt of rising inflation. He accused the Treasury benches of creating an atmosphere of tension in the Parliament rather than holding discussions on issues of public importance. Raja Parvez Ashraf said production order is prerogative of every member of National Assembly, irrespective of his political affiliation. The PPP MNA also demanded the holding of NA committee meetings on priority basis. Referring to Reko Dik and similar cases of international arbitration, Raja Parvez Ashraf said the commission set up by the Prime Minister should probe the rules of all those involved in this affair. Ehsan Iqbal of PMLN said that no issuing production orders of the members of Parliament will set a dangerous precedent. He said a person is innocent unless proven guilty and has the right to participate in the parliamentary session like this other right. Speaking in the House, MNA Makhdoom Zain Hussain Qureshi said Pakistan has been a frontline state in war against terrorism, and security forces of Pakistan have rendered huge sacrifices to make the country and the world peaceful and safe. The House has now been prorogued. This is Radio Pakistan. Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi says a constructive and cooperative approach is the best option for Pakistan and the United States to realize common objectives of peace and security in the region and bring prosperity to the people of South Asia. Addressing a seminar on Pakistan-US relations, a way forward in Islamabad today, he said it is appropriate for Islamabad and Washington to work for broader engagement from Afghanistan to bilateral economic cooperation and trade cooperation to peace and stability in South Asia. The foreign minister expressed confidence that Prime Minister Imran Khan's upcoming visit to the United States will help in ushering an era of stability and prosperity in South Asia and the broader region. Shah Mahmood Qureshi said the Prime Minister will highlight his vision for peace, progress, and prosperity in South Asia. Director Hajj Medina Tariq Rahmani says maximum intending pilgrims under government Hajj scheme have been given residences very close to Masjid-e-Nabawi. In an interview with Radio Pakistan special correspondent Muhammad Akram Khan, he said Pakistan Hajj mission in Saudi Arabia made concerted efforts to provide hygienic food to intending pilgrims at their respective residences. He said at least one guide remains present around the clock at every building of Pakistani intending pilgrims to guide them. The director said that a complaint cell is also working round the clock to resolve pilgrims' complaints swiftly. Tariq Rahmani said that 2 dispensaries and an emergency hospital have been established to take care of medical problems of the intending pilgrims. Indian leading newspaper The Times of India says Pakistan has used the opportunity of Afghan peace process to maneuver itself to center stage of the region's geopolitics. The newspaper in an article said Pakistan joined the US, Russia and China to craft a peace agreement with the Taliban. It said Pakistan is playing a crucial role in bringing the Taliban to the table. Times of India said Pakistan has also proved its indispensability, referring to the scheduled meeting between US President Donald Trump and Prime Minister Imran Khan in Washington next week. In occupied Kashmir, Indian troops in their unabated acts of state terrorism martyred 1,427 Kashmiris, including scholars and highly qualified youth during the past 5 years. According to the data released by the research section of Kashmir Media Service today, of those killed included 122 teenage boys and 31 women, while 114 people were killed in the custody or in fake encounters by Indian troops from January 2014 to 30th June 2019. It is worth mentioning that here Indian Minister of State for Home G. Kishan Reddy, while addressing in Lok Sabha today, confirmed that more than 960 Kashmiris were killed by the troops in the occupied territory during these 5 years. The chairman of Hurriyat Forum, Mirwais Umar Farooq, in a statement issued in Srinagar today, expressed grief over the loss of lives as a result of cloudburst in Neelam Valley in Azad Kashmir and damage to property in heavy rains in Sopur and Taral areas of occupied Kashmir. International Court of Justice will announce its verdict in Kulbhushan Yadav case tomorrow. Pakistani team headed by the Attorney General has reached The Hague to hear the verdict. The team also includes a Foreign Office spokesperson, Dr. Mohammed Faisal. European Union says the 2015 nuclear deal with Iran is still alive. The European Union's foreign policy chief, Federica Mogherini, following a meeting of EU foreign ministers, said Iran's recent breaches of 2015 nuclear deal are not significant and can be reversed. And finally, the weather. Rain, thunder shower, wind, storm with isolated heavy falls is expected at scattered places in Hazara, Rawalpindi, Gujranwala, Sargodha, Faisalabad, Lahore divisions, Islamabad and Kashmir, while at isolated places in Malakand, Peshawar, Kohat, Mardan, Bannu, Job and Sahiwal divisions. Hot and humid weather is expected elsewhere in the country during the next 12 hours. To end the news, here are some of the headlines once again. Federal Cabinet has decided to constitute a special committee to submit its recommendations on the verdict of World Bank's arbitration court on Reko Dik case. Foreign Minister says the Prime Minister will highlight his vision for peace and prosperity in South Asia during upcoming visit to the United States. International Court of Justice will announce its verdict in Kulbhushan Yadav case tomorrow. And that is the end of the news. For more news and analyses, log on to our website, radio.gov.pk, and also watch live streaming of our bulletin on the link facebook.com/radio Pakistan News Official.